Okay, this morning we're combining two lessons, Eureka Math lesson, Module 4, lesson 30, and Module 4, lesson 31. Okay, we're getting near the end. There's only 33 lessons, it's a lot. There are 33 lessons in Module 4, and this week we're going to finish them. Today we're doing 30 and 31. Tomorrow we're going to do 32. Wednesday we're going to do 33. Thursday we're going to review, and then on Friday we're going to have our Module 4 test, which will cover 33 lessons of content. But don't worry. If you've been keeping up all along and doing your practice books or practice problems and everything, you should be just fine. Okay? You will also be turning in your problem sets on Friday so that I can see how well you've been using your time, both here at school and at home. Okay, very good. Today our learning goal for this combined two lessons is to be able to divide numbers, any number. It could be a decimal number, it could be a whole number, it could be a fraction, by non-unit fractions. We've already learned how to divide by unit fractions, but today I'm going to teach you one strategy for how to divide by non-unit fractions. Remind me again, what's a non-unit fraction? It's any fraction that does not have 1 as its numerator. Very good. Two divided by 1/10. Last week we thought about it like this. 2 divided by 1/10, and then we would say, how many tenths are there in one whole? Everyone, how many tenths are there in one whole? And so how many tenths are there in two wholes? So what's 2 divided by 1/10? 20. Okay, notice this is still a unit fraction, right? This is how we did it last week, okay? I'm going to show you a different way to think about division this week. If I want to write 2 divided by 1/10 as a fraction, the whole thing as one fraction, I could write it like this. 2 divided by 1/10. Do you agree? Right? The whole is always the numerator, and the divisor is always the denominator. Go ahead and write that down. 2 divided by 1/10. Write it as a fraction. Now, what's different about this fraction than the fractions we've normally seen, like for example in our problem of the day when we had 8 halves, or 32 over 8. What's different? Luke?
It's the decimal for the denominator.
Yeah, what's different is that in our denominator, we have a decimal. I'm not very comfortable with having decimals in my denominators. I don't like having fractions and decimals. What if I wanted to change, how could I fix that problem? If I have 0.1 and I want to quote unquote, get rid of the decimal point. Have we ever had any math problems where we've had to get rid of the decimal point, maybe by doing a change and then an undo? How can I change 0.1 so that I want to make it into, like, for example, 1. I want to get rid of that decimal point. What do I have to do to make that change? Jayanth? That's not an eraser. Okay, I have to multiply this by 10, and then I'll get 1, right? That's like shifting the digits so that the decimal point moves. Yes? Can I just take any old fraction and multiply it by 10?
No.
Why not? Would that change the value?
Yes.
Yeah. But I can use this fact that 0.1 times 10 will equal 1, to help me. How can I change it? Well, I can't multiply by 10, but could I multiply by 10 over 10? If I multiply by 10 over 10, will that change the value of that fraction?
No.
Because I'm just multiplying by what? 1. Okay, now let's multiply. What's 2 times 10? 20, okay. And what's 0.1 times 10?
1.
So what's the same value of 2 over 0.1? 20. Is that the same answer that we got if we think about it the way we did it last week? Yes, it is. How do I write 2 divided by 0.2 as one fraction? Well, I know that my whole is, what? 2. We can think of the fraction bar as divided by. And what's it divided by? 0. Okay. Do we have a decimal anywhere in the fraction? We sure do, in 0.2, right? So how can I quote unquote get rid of it? Well, what do I have to multiply 0.2 by to change it to get rid of the fraction? Everyone? Good. So since I would have to multiply 0.2, I can think to myself, 0.2 times 10 equals what? Equals 2. Good. So this is what I can think to myself in my head, right? So knowing this fact, what version of 1 should I multiply this fraction by? Everyone? 10 over 10. Good. Okay. And then when I do that, what do I have in my numerators? What's 2 times 10? 20. And then what's 0.2 times 10? 2. So I have 20 over 2. Can I simplify that? What's 20 divided by 2? 10. So what's 2 divided by 0.2? 10. Do you see how we can convert it to a fraction to help us solve these problems? Let's try it with the next problem. 2.4 divided by 0.2. Let's write that as a fraction. What's my whole? Everyone? So what's my numerator? 2.4 over 0.2. Do we have any decimals we need to take care of?
Yes.
Yeah. Our decimals always go into the what's place. 2.4 goes into the tens place. 0.2 goes into the, when it goes into the tens place, what do I have to multiply in order to get rid of, or move the decimal? What do I have to do? Multiply by 10. So what version of 1 shall we multiply by here? Okay. If I multiply by 10 over 10, let's see what we get. What's 2.4 times 10? Okay. What's 0.2 times 10? So I get 24 over 2, which is 24 divided by 2. What's 24 divided by 2?
12.
So what's 2.4 divided by 0.2?
12.
Very nice. So I know my numerator needs to get multiplied by 10 in order to shift the digits so I only have whole numbers. And my denominator would have to multiply by 100. Can I multiply by 10 over 100? Why not? That's not a version of 1. Would this change the value? So what should I do? 10 over 10 or 100 over 100? Yeah, 100 over 100 is the only version that would give me only whole numbers. So let's multiply. What's 1.6 times 100?
160.
160, good. What's 0.04 times 100?
4.
So I have 160 over 4. Can I simplify that? Yeah. What's 16 divided by 4? 4. So what's 160 divided by 4?
40.
So what's 1.6 divided by 0.04? 40. Very good.